All right, hold on, let me close the door here. So I've been talking about this Black Purge for a while now. And my videos get blocked and shadow banned and all that stuff. But I've been talking about it for a while. And it's starting to look like things are ramping up. Everyone's now talking about civil war, civil war.
1 in 5 Americans think violence might be necessary to get the country back on track.
I worry about civil war.
Civil war, they want civil war.
The number of people who agreed force is justified to restore Trump to the presidency, 18 million.
The culture wars have been boiling up for decades. Abortion, racial injustice, and guns. But many Americans feel something about this moment is different.
America has always been divided, but none more so than now, when both parties feel the other side winning the election is the end of democracy itself.
It's the civil war is the Black Purge. That's what that means. It means that black people are going to be attacked first. Our numbers are going to be knocked down. And then maybe the conflict will continue. Who knows? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't believe that once this happens, that the conflict will continue. I think the main cause of the conflict is to give the masses, specifically white society, like I've said in the other videos, groups to attack, give them a distraction, something else to look at, give them another group to blow off some steam. Because as you're seeing in all these white nations, not all of them, but in I guess a few of them, you're seeing that the white masses are starting to understand and starting to, I can't even say understand, because white society has known this all along. They just thought it wouldn't really affect them. Because, the wealthy white have used propaganda to kind of make them think that black people are less and that black people are always the targets, and that non-whites, like people in South America, parts of Asia, that they're the ones that are going to be affected. So the white masses have always known that the wealthy whites do corrupt and evil things. But as long as it wasn't being done to them, they didn't care. Now they're starting to understand, this stuff is really being done to all of us. And our wealthy white brothers and sisters have run out of non-white targets to exploit. So they're going to start exploiting us. So they're starting to realize that. And now you're starting to see a lot of them waking up themselves and preparing to fight back. Because when white people are affected, they kill, they murder. You get like a Timothy McVeigh situation where just one guy can just destroy and take hundreds and hundreds of lives in a blink of an eye. Other races, that's not a normal thing. We don't normally do that. White society, when they feel like they've been attacked, they'll kill you. And the wealthy whites know that. That's why they come after us blacks and make us the target, because they know black people aren't as violent as they make out on television and stuff. You have black criminals, of course, but black people in general as a whole, we're just not that kind of people. That's why they were able to subjugate us and enslave us for so long, because that's not who we are. And they've been using that propaganda to kind of pander to the white masses and let them know that we think that these black people are criminals. We're going to attack them and we're going to go after them, because they knew, well, we can't really openly go after white society, because if we openly do it, they're going to kill us. And now we're at that point where white society is kind of catching up to what's really happening, waking up to what's really happening. And again, once white society is attacked, they will murder. So you're starting to see little things happen to kind of kick off this Black Purge. And again, when I say a Black Purge, I'm just using that to kind of explain what I'm saying. But really what the Black Purge will be is, again, wealthy white men and women who have been using their money in order to create more money for themselves. They have rigged the system to create scenarios to make themselves richer at the expense of the poorer people, which they've done throughout history. This isn't new. But the white masses, who they've been doing it to for centuries, they're starting to have to do it to them more and more. Because again, this is a finite world, you run out of things. You can only exploit Africans and Asians and South Americans for so long. After a while, you start to run out of ways to exploit those people, and so you have to move on to whatever's left, and whatever's left is the white society. So white society, the wealthy whites, are starting to now openly, just blatantly do corrupt things that are affecting white society, regular whites, the middle class, the poor, the working class, even upper class whites, the ones that aren't wealthy. They're all being affected. And the wealthy whites are starting to realize, you know what, we can only do this for so long. These people are going to start to find out. And again, once the white masses find out, there'll be a war. We'll get attacked. So we need to give the white masses something else to look at. We need to give them something else to focus on other than us. And that's what the Black Purge is going to be. Something's going to happen where white society is given an opening to go after a marginalized group, which will be us, the Black society, and the government will sort of allow it. They won't really stop it. They'll just say it's out of our hands. It's too much. There's too much going on, and we can't control it. And it's going to keep happening, and you're going to see this attack more and more on Black people, where white society is attacking Black people, killing us. Other groups like Asians and Hispanics are going to jump in, and Black people are just going to get kind of wiped out. And that's going to last for a while. And that's going to give the wealthy whites, they're going to use that to give them a little bit more time to keep doing what they're doing. And you're starting to see little things happen now that are going to kick this off, like the Jordan Neely incident where Daniel Penny choked this man to death for no reason. The Sonia Massey incident where a cop just shot a woman in the face for nothing in her house, just executed her. You're seeing it just look in the UK. Look at what happens when white society is given an excuse to start attacking and burning and looting and killing. All it takes is just to give them a little excuse. So you had some teenage African guy who murdered these little girls, these little white girls, these poor kids. And white society in the UK is like, all right, let's kill and just destroy Muslims. This guy wasn't a Muslim. Had nothing to do with the Muslim community. He was a Christian African person. And they're going after just all immigrants because they just needed an excuse. You're going to start to see stuff like that happen here. All the white masses need is an excuse. And it's not saying that all white people are racist and all that stuff, but you have white people who are racist who know that they can get support and money by riling up the other whites and rile them up and then lead them, and that'll give them a position of power. So all they need is one little incident, one little spark to set things off, and that same thing that's happening in the UK can happen here, except the people here have guns. They have guns, and the people here are actually, surprisingly, even more racist than the people in the UK. So there won't be just burning businesses, and they'll be burning people's houses down with the people in it, killing people in the streets, running people over. It'll be a lot worse here. And that's going to kick off this Black Purge, where it becomes so bad that the United States government lies and says, well, we can't do it. It's out of our hands. We don't know how to handle this. And they just let it happen. And again, that's going to happen for a little while. The the wealthy whites are going to use that conflict to keep enriching themselves. I don't know what their end game is, what their end plan is. I don't think they have one. The wealthy aren't really that bright. They're really just criminals. So they're probably, in their minds, they're like, well, we'll use this as a distraction for everyone else. So all the masses, the blacks, the whites, the Hispanics, the Asians, all of those people who we've been exploiting and robbing, they'll be focused on each other and on this big conflict and protecting themselves, and we'll just enrich ourselves. And I don't think they have an end game. I think they just think we'll use this conflict to enrich ourselves. The conflict's going to end eventually. Maybe they do have an end game. I don't think they do. But you're starting to see these little things happen, which I've been paying attention to for a while and tried to tell black people about it. Black people don't listen. I don't know anymore. I'm really just making this video for fun at this point, because I'm already preparing myself and my family. I can't really work to try to help black people because I'm one man. I don't have resources to help black people. All I can do is try to rally people, and then get information out, share information, and then we can go online and make plans. But I don't get any responses from anybody. So, and I'm shadow banned by these social media groups. So I'm really doing this for nothing. But try to get people to understand. You better wake up and pay attention. If you have not armed yourself, I don't know what to tell you. If you haven't made preparations, you better find a country that offers dual citizenship. I wouldn't give up my citizenship immediately. Find a place that offers dual citizenship. Save up some money as soon as you can. Take out a loan if you have to. And go and purchase a apartment or a property, set up a rental somewhere in another country, try to get citizenship there, get yourself a remote job so that you can go over to this other country and have a residence over somewhere else so that once this kicks off, you can get your ass on a plane and leave. And protect yourself and your family until it all blows over, and then maybe you can come back. There may not be a place to come back to. Who knows? Because if this happens, if this Black Purge happens, it's going to turn into a bigger conflict. It's going to be a massive conflict. They're calling it a civil war. I'm not calling it that. This is just going to be a white on black attack. Once that happens, all the other countries who have issues with the United States are probably going to take advantage of that. Our military won't be operational as much as it should be. They're just going to come over and they're going to do what they need to get revenge on us. It's going to turn into something bad. Every civilization rises and falls. It's inevitable that ours is going to fall. Unfortunately, it might be sooner than we think. So you best prepare, arm yourself, or get some dual citizenship. If you have family in another country, make a plan to go live with them and figure out a way to protect yourself, because this thing is coming. It's on its way. I'm not a very smart man, but I do like history, and I've always made plans and things based on things that happen in history, and that's where this is all coming from. I'm basing a lot of what I'm saying on historical events that have happened in the past, and the things that have happened in history that have led to conflicts and wars in the past. They've been happening here. And white society, I keep saying white society. It's not white society, it's the wealthy whites. Which is really different from white society, the white masses. The wealthy whites are looking for a way to distract people because people are fed up. Most people have woken up to this political game. So the thing that they've used to placate people for all of these centuries, where you have a choice and pick your politician and then use the politician to fight and all that, people are now realizing that that's a game, that's a joke. So they can't just placate people anymore. Once people realize that they have no options to better their lives, and that there's this small group of people who are manipulating things to make their lives better at our expense, people are gonna attack. That's just people are gonna rebel. And the wealthy are starting to see that that's happening, and they're going to do what they have to protect themselves, and that is skew the narrative and divide and conquer, which is what they've been doing. Divide the masses, let them fight amongst themselves, and we'll run for the hills. We'll disappear into the night. And that's what you're starting to see happen. It's starting to come to fruition. So if you haven't prepped, I don't know what to tell you. I haven't even finished prepping myself. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments.